Good evening, everyone. In the last session, we completed discussion related to serialization. Then we discussed about deserialization and we discussed about what is serial version UID and we discussed about transient. Okay, what is the serialization? It is the process of converting Java object into bits and bytes to store in the file. We will go for serialization. The process of converting the file data back to Java object is called as deserialization. What is the serial version UID? For every .class file, JVM will assign one ID. JVM will assign one ID. That ID will be stored in the file also when we do the serialization. When we do the deserialization, it will compare file UID and class UID. If the file UID, class UID matching, then only deserialization will be success. Otherwise, it will fail. How to overcome that problem? By using our own serial version UID. If we don't give the serial version UID, then JVM will assign one random serial version UID. That serial version UID will change whenever we modify our Java program. Then what is transient keyword? At the time of doing the serialization, if you don't want some variables to serialize, then we can declare them as transient. Transient variables will not participate in the serialization process. Perfect. Today, we are going to start with another topic that is called multi-threading. Multi-threading. Did you attend that workshop last week? No? Right. Guys, here, multi-threading. Before going to understand what is multi-threading, let's understand task. What is the meaning of a task? What is the meaning of a task? What is the meaning of a task? Task means some work. Can we say task nothing but some work? Yes, I'm suffering from cold and cough. Task. What is the meaning of task? Task nothing but work. Task nothing but work. Now here we can call single tasking. What is the meaning of single tasking? Performing only one task at a time is called as single tasking. Performing only one task at a time is called as single tasking. Now I will teach the class. After teaching the class, after teaching the topic, if I give the notes, that is called single tasking. First I will explain the class. After my explanation is completed, then I will dictate the notes for you. That is called single tasking. Performing only one work at a time. Performing only one action at a time is called as single tasking. What is the example for single tasking? Example, explain the topic. Explain the topic. Second one, dictate the notes. Dictate the notes. Then ask questions. Ask questions. First I will explain the topic for you. Then I will provide the notes for you. After giving the notes, I will ask the questions. I will perform these actions one after other. I will perform these actions one after other. If I perform these actions one after other, then that is called as single tasking. Then next one, multitasking. What is the meaning of multitasking? Performing multiple tasks at a time is called as multitasking. If one person is doing multiple tasks at a time, it is called as multitasking. What are the examples for multitasking? What is the example for multitasking, guys? Can anyone tell me? Sorry? Multitasking. Now, what I can do is, I am doing some programming. While I am doing the programming, I can listen the music also. Yes or no? I will listen to some music. I will keep a headset. I will listen to some songs. When I am listening the songs, I can do some coding also. Or when I am teaching, parallelly I am typing. I'm speaking as well as I am writing. So one person can do single tasking. A person can do multitasking also. If you go for single tasking, one by one task, then after second task, then after second task. If you go for single tasking, it will take lot of time. If we perform single tasking, if we perform single tasking, then it will take lot of time to complete all our work. If we perform single tasking, then it will take lot of time to complete all our work. I need to explain the topic, I need to dictate the notes, I need to ask the questions. If I do these actions one by one, it will take lot of time to complete our work. So to improve our performance, we will go for multitasking. Performing multiple tasks at a time is called multitasking. Now, when I'm going for multitasking, walking and listening music. I will do walk, at the same time I will listen the music also. Walking is one action and listening is one action. Both actions I'm doing at a time. If we perform multiple actions at a time, then it is called multitasking. Walking and listening the music, speaking and writing. Speaking and writing. I'm talking at the same time I am writing also. Reading a book and listening the music. Reading book and eating. While I am eating, I can read the book also. I will keep a book like this, I will eat like this, right? We can do two actions at a time. If we perform two actions at a time, then it is called as multitasking. What is the advantage of going for multitasking? If we perform multitasking, then we can complete multiple works at a time. Are you guys clear with my point? If we perform multitasking, then we can complete multiple works at a time. If we perform single tasking, then it will take lot of time to complete all our work. Single tasking and multitasking. Similarly, here I am having a program. Assume that this is my Java program. My Java program wants to perform some action. What is that action? Here in my project, there is a database. In this database, there is a data available. Here I am having 1 lakh customers. 1 lakh customers are available in my database. For these 1 lakh people, I want to send one message. I will take 1 lakh customers data. In my program, there is a logic available. Take 1 lakh customers data, send the message to 1 lakh customers through mobile. First customer, send a message. After that, take the second customer data, send a message. Take the third customer data, send a message. How much time it will take? It is going to take lot of time, because I am doing single tasking. I'm taking one customer data, I'm sending a message. Simple example, bank available, SBI bank available. SBI bank want to send a message to SBI customers. Tomorrow, weekend, SBI net banking will not work. Morning 9 a.m. to afternoon 2 p.m. There is a maintenance activity. Bank application having some maintenance activity. Net banking will not work from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow weekend. SBI having crores of customers. SBI is having crores of, every family will have one SBI account. Every family will have one SBI account. Our government bank, Indian State Bank of India, every family member, at least one member in the family will have a bank account. 100 crores of people available in the India, 100 plus, 130, 140 crores are available. Those many accounts are available in the SBI. 100 crores accounts available in the SBI. In that, people are using net banking to do bank operations. Tomorrow, that bank application is not going to work from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, SBI application want to send that information to customers today. They found some issue in the bank application. They want to resolve that issue. 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the slot. They want to send a message to customers. 100 crore customers are available. If SBI bank application will send a message to first customer, second customer, third customer, how much time it will take? By next month it will complete. Yes or no? It may take 1 month of time, but activity is there tomorrow. Services will not be available tomorrow. If you send that message after 1 month, is there any use? Is there any use of that? No. I want to send that message to the customers right now. I want to send the message to the customers right now. Tomorrow, our application will not work 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Here, our program should perform single tasking, or our program should perform multitasking. If my program performs single tasking, what is the problem? It will take lot of time to complete. It will take lot of time to complete. That's why we need to go for multitasking. What is the difference between single tasking and multitasking? What is the difference between single tasking and multitasking? If we perform only one task at a time, that is called single tasking. If you perform multiple tasks at a time, then it is called multitasking. What is the drawback in the single tasking? It will take lot of time to complete the work. When you go for multitasking, within less time we can do more work. Within less time we can do more work. You understand the scenario? Yes. What is the scenario? What is the scenario here? What is the scenario? Send a message to 100 crore users, 100 crore users. If we send message one after other, it will take lot of time. If we send message one after other, it will take lot of time. So if we want to send the message quickly, then we need to go for multitasking. Now, multitasking we can achieve in two ways. Multitasking can be achieved in two ways. Multitasking we can achieve in two ways. One is process-based multitasking. Second one is thread-based multitasking. First one is process-based multitasking. Second one is thread-based multitasking. Process-based multitasking, example, our Windows OS. My laptop is there. In this laptop, I am having one operating system. In this operating system, my browser is running. I opened my browser. my browser is running. In the same operating system, my Paint is running. In the same operating system, my Notepad is running. In the same operating system, my Zoom software is also running. How many programs are running? Multiple. So I am typing, I am drawing, I am using browser, I am using Zoom. So several programs are running. In one computer, I am able to run multiple programs. Those are called as multiple processes. In one computer, multiple processes are running. That is called process-based multitasking. Sir, how can you say that there are multiple processes are running in your computer? If you open Task Manager, in the system, we will have a Task Manager. When you open the Task Manager, can you see the first tab? It is saying that processes. How many applications are running now? Chrome is running, Notepad is running, Paint is running, Task Manager, Windows Explorer, Zoom Meeting 1, Zoom Meeting 2. There are two Zoom Meeting applications are running. Windows is running, Windows file system is running, Task Manager is running, Paint is running, Notepad is running, Chrome is running. These are 7 processes which are running. These are 7 main processes which are running in the computer. These 7 processes are sharing CPU. 55% of CPU utilization is available. 86% of memory, those processes are occupying. Disk space, network. My system resources are sharing by the processes which are running in the computer. So this is multitasking. My system is doing multitasking. Our laptop is doing multitasking. Chrome is running, Notepad is running, Paint is running, Windows running, Zoom running. Several applications are running in the machine. Those are called as processes. When we go for processes, it is sharing system resources. My hardware is available, RAM is available, CPU is available, network is available. All these applications parallelly executing, they are sharing resources of my system. Okay. Similarly, my program want to execute. In my program, there are several methods. M1 method is available, M2 method is available. Similarly, M3 method is also available. Now, if you go for serial execution, first M1 will execute, then M2 will execute, then M3 will execute. All the methods are going to execute sequentially, but there is no relation between the methods. All are independent methods. There is no relation between M1 and M2, M1 and M3. No relation between M2 and M3 also. These 3 methods are independent methods. When the 3 methods are independent, when the M1 is executing, why to wait? I want to start all the 3 methods at a time. When the M1 is executing, I want to execute M2, I want to execute M3. 3 works, 3 operations I want to perform at a time. How my laptop is running multiple applications at a time, similarly in my program multiple methods will be available. Those methods I want to execute parallelly. Those methods I want to execute parallelly. If you want to execute the logic of your program parallelly, then you need to go for thread-based multitasking. Okay, if you are using a normal computer, if you want to run multiple applications, that is process-based multitasking. Now I'm developing a program to perform the operations. My program want to perform multiple operations. M1 method, M2 method, M3 method. Someone is executing M1, somebody is executing M2, somebody is executing M3. 3 methods are there. 3 methods I want to execute parallelly. 3 methods I want to execute parallel. Simple. You are using Facebook. Whenever you are using Facebook, am I able to use the Facebook? Yes or no? Is it allowing me or it is not allowing me? It is allowing me. That means Facebook is having multi-threading. You are using Facebook to read the profiles of your friends. I am using Facebook to send the status. Somebody is using Facebook for chatting. Facebook is one application. Application contains several programs. Those programs are executing parallelly. Multiple people accessing the Facebook at a time. Multiple logics are executing in the Facebook at a time. Nothing but it is thread-based project. It is a thread-based project. If you want to execute your program logics at a time, multiple people want to execute your program logics at a time, then you need to go for thread-based multitasking. How many ways we can achieve multitasking? Two ways. What are those two ways? Process-based multitasking and thread-based multitasking. So when we need to go for process-based multitasking, in one computer, I want to perform multiple operations at a time. In one computer, I want to perform multiple operations at a time. To perform multiple operations at a time, we will go for process-based multitasking. I want to execute multiple portions. My program is having M1 method, M2 method, M3 method. I want to execute M1, M2, M3 parallelly. I don't want to wait. Execute M1, execute M2, execute M3. All the three methods should execute parallelly. My program is having 10 lines. 10 lines of code should execute parallelly. Then we need to go for thread-based multitasking. To execute our program logics parallelly. To execute our program logics parallelly, then we need to go for thread-based multitasking. Thread-based multitasking. What is the advantage if we go for thread-based multitasking? What is the advantage if we go for thread-based multitasking? Using thread-based multitasking, our program can complete the work quickly. Using thread-based multitasking, our program can complete the work quickly. Right. So here, to implement thread-based multitasking, we need to go for a concept called multi-threading. What is the purpose of multi-threading? Multi-threading is used to implement thread-based multitasking. To implement thread-based multitasking, we will use multi-threading. Java supports multi-threading. All right, read it. What is a thread-based multitasking? To execute our program logics parallelly, then we need to go for thread-based multitasking. Using thread-based multitasking, our program can complete the work quickly. To implement thread-based multitasking, we will use multi-threading. Java supports multi-threading. So use cases to go for multi-threading. When your program should go for multi-threading, when you need to implement multi-threading, send SMS to all customers at a time. Send the SMS to all the customers at a time. If I send one by one, it will take lot of time. Send email to all the customers. Send email to all customers at a time. Send bank statement to all customers in email. Generate and send bank statements to all customers in the email. Monthly bank statement will be available. So in the last month, how many transactions you completed, you will get a bank statement. Everybody who is having an account in the bank, they will get the bank statement to their mail ID. So bank statement will come in the form of PDF. For my transaction, one PDF will be generated. For your transaction, one PDF. For these people transactions, their PDFs will generate. Generating the PDF, sending the PDF to the multiple customers is a time-taking process. One by one. Take the transaction data, prepare a PDF, send the PDF for one customer. Second customer also, same requirement. Take the transaction data, prepare the PDF, send the PDF. It will take a lot of time. So in order to complete that activity quickly, we need to go for thread-based multitasking. I will go for multiple threads. Multiple threads will execute my program parallelly. I will take multiple threads. Now, here I have a method. Here I have a method. This method is executing by one thread. So this is my method, which is send statement. There is a method available. Send statement method is available. If one thread is executing this method, it will take a lot of time. Instead of executing one thread, I will create multiple threads here. I will call this method by using multiple threads. If I execute with one thread, at a time one statement I can send. If I use multiple methods to work on the same method, multiple threads will send the statement parallelly for multiple customers. Method is same, logic is same, but I am executing parallelly. What is the advantage if I execute parallelly? What is the advantage if I execute parallelly? Time will save. Within less time, we can do more work. The main aim of multi-threading to perform more work in the less time by using multi-threading. Multi-threading is a process in the Java which is used to execute your program logic parallelly to complete more work in the less time. If you execute the logic sequentially, will take a lot of time. So we want to execute the task parallelly so that we can complete more work in the less time. Multitasking. Come on, tell me what is the main advantage of going for multitasking? Note, the main aim of multitasking is to execute our program logic parallelly, so that we can complete more work. In less time. The main aim of multitasking is used to execute our program logic parallelly so that we can complete more work in the less time. For every Java program, JVM will start one default thread to run our program. Now, we are executing one Java program. That Java program is executing by main method, right? Program is execution starting from main method. Let me go to here. Let me run my program. Right, guys. So let me take one class. Yeah. Here I'm having one Java program. This is my main method. System.out.println of hello. Yes, I can run this program. When I run this program, execution is starting from the main method and we are getting a output. Who is executing this main method? JVM. JVM internally uses a thread to run our program. What is a thread? Thread is a process. Thread is a process which is used to run our program. For every program, JVM will create one thread to run the program. So every program is running by the JVM. That JVM internally uses a thread concept to run our program. Now, sir, how can you say that there is a thread? Okay, thread T is equal to new thread. Thread T is equal to new thread. Thread dot get name. Okay, every thread is there. System dot out dot println of name. Now run this program. Thread of 0. Here I'm creating a thread here. I'm creating a thread here. For our Java program, JVM will create a thread and JVM will run the program by using thread. By default, how many threads will be created? By default, how many threads will be created? Only one thread will be created, that is called main thread. To run Java program, JVM will create one thread. That thread is called main thread. That main thread is going to run our Java program. If I run the program with one thread, it will take lot of time to complete. If you want to run your program parallelly, if you want to complete more work in the less time, then you need to create multiple threads. If you create multiple threads, then your program can be executed quickly. Your program can be executed quickly, right? For every Java program, JVM will create one thread by default. That thread is called as main thread. So for every Java program execution, JVM will create one thread by default. That thread is called as main thread. If your program is running, that means one thread will be available. That thread is going to run our Java program. By default, thread will be created. That thread is called as main thread. That thread is called as main thread. Thread dot get thread dot current thread. Thread dot current thread. System dot out dot println current thread dot get name. So now by using thread dot current thread method, we can get what is the default thread which is creating by JVM. Execute the program. What is the name coming? Main. What is this main? Name of the thread. Which is thread? Current thread. What is the meaning of current thread? What is the meaning of current thread? The thread which is running by the JVM. The thread which is running by the JVM is called as current thread. So this is the proof to say that JVM is creating a main thread to run our main method. So as of now, we discussed that Java program execution will be taken care by JVM. JVM is taking care directly, or JVM is having one assistant? JVM is having one assistant. Who is that assistant? Thread. What is the name of that thread? Main thread. What is the responsibility of the main thread? What is the responsibility of the main thread? Main thread is responsible to execute our main method. Main thread is responsible to execute our main method. Okay, how to get the default thread created by the JVM? Thread is one class. Thread is one class available in java.lang program, java.lang package. Thread is a thread of execution in a program. Java virtual machine allows an application to have multiple threads of execution running concurrently. Multiple threads can be executed concurrently. So now, can you read this statement? What is the main aim of multi-threading? The main aim of multitasking is used to execute our program logic parallelly so that we can complete more work in less time. The main aim of multitasking is used to execute our program logic parallelly so that we can complete more work in the less time. For every Java program execution, JVM will create one thread by default. That thread is called as main thread. Java program to get the details of main thread. Java program to get the details of main thread. How to get the details of the main thread? Thread dot current thread. Thread dot current thread is the logic which will give currently running thread. Here, thread is a predefined class. Thread is a predefined class available in java.lang package. In thread class, we have static method called. We have a static method which is current thread. How I am calling static method? Am I creating the object and calling the method? I'm calling the method by using class name. I'm using the class name dot method name. Why I am using class name dot method name? Why I am using class name dot method name? Class name dot method name I'm using because it is a static method. All right. So thread dot current thread, which is giving the currently running thread. Am I creating this thread or JVM created this thread? JVM created this thread. Why JVM created this thread? To run our program. Why JVM created this thread? JVM created this thread to run our program. Are you able to follow me? JVM created this thread to run our program. So that thread which is created by the JVM is called as a main thread. What is the output we are getting? Main. One thread is created by JVM by default to run our program. Now JVM having a class called thread class. Let's go to JSC API. Let's go to JSC API. Open java.lang package. Open java.lang package. Go for a class called thread. There is a class called thread. See here, java.lang.thread. What is the super class for this thread? Object. Okay, public class thread extends object, implements runnable. Can you read this statement? Come on guys, can you read this? A thread is a thread of execution in a program. Java virtual machine allows an application to have multiple threads of execution running concurrently. Concurrently nothing but parallelly. So in the Java program, JVM creating one thread called main thread, which is used to run our program. If you want to run your program concurrently, nothing but parallelly, you have some logic, you want to execute that logic parallelly, that is possible in the Java by using multi-threading. By using a concept called multi-threading. What is the main advantage of multi-threading? What is the main advantage of multi-threading? Executing more, doing more work in the less time by executing the logic parallelly. By executing the logic parallelly, we can complete more work in the less time. That is the main aim of multi-threading. Now, to work with the multi-threading in the Java, there is a class called thread class. There is a class called thread class. Thread dot current thread. What is the meaning of thread dot current thread? What is the meaning of thread dot current thread? Getting the information of currently running thread. For every Java program, JVM is creating one thread. For every Java program, JVM is creating one thread. Now, system.out.println current thread. I'm just printing current thread object. System.out.println of current thread. Run this program. What is this? Main comma 5 comma main. thread group is available, thread priority is available, thread name is available. Whenever you print a thread object, can I say internally it is calling toString method? Can I say internally it is calling toString method? Yes. Go to thread class and check what are the methods available. What are the methods available? Yes or no? ToString method. Is it calling object class ToString method or it is calling thread class ToString method? It is calling thread class ToString method. Can you read what is the purpose of this method? Returns a string representation of this thread, including the priority and thread group. Now see, when I run this program, I'm getting output with three values: main comma, 5 comma, main. This main is the name of the thread. This 5 is priority of the thread. This main is thread group. A thread will have a name, a thread will have a priority, a thread will have a group also. I'm able to get that thread information by calling thread.currentThread. If you just want to get the name, current thread.getName, what it will do? It will print output as a main. The thread which is created by the JVM by default is called as a main thread. Okay, we can create our own thread also. We can create our own thread also. That is called user defined thread creation. User defined threads. As of now, we have seen predefined thread which is created by JVM. Now I want to create my own thread. The thread that we create programmatically, that is called as user defined thread. In Java, we can create thread in two ways. In Java, we can create a thread in two ways. One is by extending thread class. By extending thread class. Second one is by implementing runnable interface. So in how many ways we can create thread? In the Java, in how many ways we can create a user defined thread? In Java, we can create user defined thread in two ways. One is by extending thread class. Second one is by implementing runnable interface. All right. Now let us see here. Public class demo extends thread. Public class demo extends thread. Now, whenever you extend the thread, whatever the logic you want to execute, that logic we will write inside the run method. That logic will write inside the run method. System.out.println, I am from run method. Now, I am from run method. When I execute this program, that method is executing or method is not executing? Not executing. Who should execute this method? Main method. That means a thread should execute it. Whatever the logic you want to execute by using a thread, that logic you need to write inside the run method. Now, I want to create the thread and I want to start the thread. So I will do like this. Demo d is equal to new demo. Demo d is equal to new demo. Then thread t is equal to new thread. Thread t is equal to new thread of our demo. Now I am creating object for my demo class. I'm creating object for my demo class. Demo class object I am passing as a parameter to thread class constructor. That means making our class object association with a thread. I'm representing my class as a thread by associating my class object with the thread class. Once we have done that, we are going to call a method called start method. What is the meaning of a start method? Which is used to start the thread. I am creating my class object. My class is extending from thread class. My class object I am associating with a thread class object. Then I am calling T dot start. Whenever you call T dot start, thread will start. Thread will start. Thread will start. Got my point? This is main thread or it is user defined thread. This is a main thread or this is user defined thread. User defined. So what is a main thread? Who will create main thread? JVM. Why JVM is creating main thread? To run the main method. JVM is creating a main thread to run the main method. So main thread will execute the main method. When main thread is executing main method, I am starting my thread. I'm starting my thread. Now see here, main thread started, system.out.println. I can say main thread started. Now here I'm going to write system.out.println main thread completed. Main thread completed. Thread dot start. T dot start. Here what is happening? User defined thread started. My thread started. Here my thread started. And here my thread ended. My thread started, my thread ended. Run this program. Main thread started, main thread completed. My thread started, I am from run method and my thread ended. So here this main method is executing by main thread. Inside the main method, I'm creating my thread execution is completing. Okay, is it going in the sequential execution? The output is coming in the sequential execution? No, what is happening first? Main thread started. Now here my logic is available. So is that main thread waiting for this logic to complete or directly it is executing this method? Directly it is executing this method. That means is that main thread waiting for my thread or main thread is not waiting for my thread? Main thread not executing for my thread. So this method is executing by one thread. This method is executing by another thread. Can I call it as a parallel execution? So I have two methods in my program. One is a main method, another one is a run method. Who is calling this main method? Main thread. Who is creating that main thread? JVM is creating the main thread. Simple example. If there is only one thread, first this line should execute, then this line should execute, then this line should execute, then this line should execute. When I call this method should complete. After this method is completed, then this line should execute. When this line should come at the last, this output we should get at the end. If we are getting this output at the end, what is the meaning of that? Sequential execution. This is last line in the main method. If this line is executed at the end, that means my program is executing sequentially. If this method is executed at the end, that means my program is executing sequentially. But see the output, this line is executing at the end or this line is not executing at the end. Not executing at the end. What is the reason? Multi-threading. What is the reason? Multi-threading. This logic is executing by one thread. This logic is executing by another thread. Can I say my program is having one main thread and one user defined thread? Yes. One main thread is available. One user defined thread is also available. What is the advantage? One thread is executing one method. Another thread is executing another method parallelly. So two works I am doing at a time. Main method is executing, run method is also executing. They are executing one after other. They are executing parallelly. What is the advantage? Two works. My program is doing two actions at a time. My program is doing two actions at a time. That is called multi-threading. Come on, tell me. What is multi-threading? The process of executing multiple parts of the program parallelly is called as multi-threading. In the JVM, by default, one thread will be created when you run the Java program. That thread is called as main thread. What is the responsibility of that main thread? Main thread is responsible to execute main method. How to get the information of the main thread? thread dot current thread. Thread dot current thread will give the information of the current thread which is running by the JVM. What is the name of that main thread? Main only. The name is a main. How to create our own thread? How many ways we can create? In Java, we can create thread in two ways. In the Java, we can create the thread in two ways. One is by extending thread class. Another one is by implementing runnable interface. Now, look at this program. First of all, remove this. Remove this. Getting the name of the thread. To get the name of the thread. Now see here. Here I have a main method. Simple example, understand. I have a main method, guys. Here I have a main method. Inside the main method, I'm telling main thread started, main thread completed, executed. Thread started, thread completed. That means somebody is executing my main method. Who is that somebody? Main thread, JVM. JVM internally using main thread. How can we get that main thread name? Thread dot current thread. I got the current thread. Can we get the name of the current thread? Yes. How can we get the name? Current thread dot get name, string name. I got the string name. Now here, instead of writing this, I will say name plus. Okay, run this program. What happened? So which thread is executing my program? I'm getting the name of the thread. So am I creating the thread or JVM is creating the thread? JVM is creating the thread. Why JVM is creating the thread? To execute our program. Now here guys, I have one method public void m1. I have one method called public void m1. System.out.println. I am from m1 method. I am from m1 method. Inside this method, I will write some logic. How to execute this method? How to execute this method? I need to create the object. I need to call demo d is equal to new demo d dot m1. Demo d is equal to new demo d dot m1. Now what is happening? What is happening now? Main method, m1 method executing sequentially, or they are executing parallelly? Sequentially. First main method started. It is started by one thread called current thread, which is a main thread. Main thread started. I created the object. I called the m1 method. When I call the m1 method, control is going. Control is going from here to here. Here my program will wait. My program will wait until m1 method is completed. My program will wait until m1 method is completed. After m1 method is completed, then only this line will execute. Are you able to understand my point? After m1 method is completed, then only this line will execute. That is a sequential execution or it is a parallel execution? It is a sequential execution, but my requirement is when this main method is executing, I don't want to wait for the m1 method to complete. If you execute m1, execute it. I want to complete my main method quickly. I want to complete my main method quickly. I want to execute main method and m1 method parallelly. How can I execute main method, m1 method parallelly? By creating our own thread. We need to execute m1 method parallelly. Already JVM is creating main thread. JVM is executing main method. It is executing the main method sequentially. But I don't want to wait for the main thread to complete. Parallelly, I want to start m1 method. For that, I need to create one thread. For that thread, I will tell, hey thread, go and execute m1 method. Main thread will execute main method. My thread will execute M1 method. I want to execute two methods at a time. I want to execute two methods at a time. Why I want to execute two methods at a time? I want to do more work in the less time. I want to do more work in the less time. So JVM is starting one thread to execute main method. I will create one thread to execute my method. Both threads will execute parallelly. How to create our own thread? How many ways I can create my own thread? There are two ways available to create the thread. What are those two ways? One is by extending thread class. Another one is by implementing runnable interface. Okay. Can you tell me how can I create a thread? How can I tell the thread to execute M1 method? Yes. I am extending the properties from thread class. I am extending the properties from thread class. If I am extending the properties from thread class directly, they are executing parallelly or they are not executing parallelly? Not executing because my class is extending. But am I creating my thread? No, I have not created my thread. What I will do is I want to create my thread. I no need to call the M1 method. My thread will call the M1 method. Create the object thread T is equal to new thread of D. Thread T is equal to new thread of D. What is the meaning of passing D object as a parameter to thread class? Associate my thread, my object with the thread. Associate my object with the thread. Thread T is equal to new thread of D. Now I'm going to call T dot start. What is the meaning of T dot start? Start the thread. Here we need to keep one small point in our mind. Whenever you call the start method, thread will look for run method. Whenever you call the start method, what thread will do? Thread will check for, does this class is having a run method? Sir, what is that run method? Run method is used to execute the logic by the thread. Whatever the logic you want to execute by a thread, that logic you need to keep inside the run method. Able to follow me? Yes. Let me write my run method. Public void run. System.out.println. System.out.println. My thread started. My thread started. Inside that I will call M1 method and I will say my thread completed. Now I'm calling the start method. When I call the start method, internally it will call the run method. What is this run method? Logic that should be executed by a thread. When you are creating your own thread, that thread is, why are you creating a thread? To perform some operation. Why we are creating a thread, guys? Why we are creating a thread? We are creating the thread to perform some operation. We are creating the thread to perform some operation. What operation that thread has to perform? That logic we need to keep in the run method. I want to execute M1 method by thread. That's why inside the run method, I'm calling M1 method. Who will call this run method? My thread will call. When that thread will call the run method? Whenever you start. Here internally it will call run method. Internally our start method will call the run method. See the proof? Come on, can you see? My thread started, my thread completed. Main thread completing after my thread or main thread completing before my thread? Before. That means when this thread is started, is it waiting for the thread to complete to execute this line? No. Can I say both threads are executing parallelly? Can I say both threads are executing parallelly? What is the proof to say that both threads are executing parallelly? How can you say both threads are executing parallelly? Come on. What is the proof to say that both threads are executing parallelly? Main thread, when this logic is called, it is not waiting for this method to complete. When this logic is called, Okay, that is a different thread. My task is complete the main method. It is completing the main method. So main method is executing by main thread. My M1 method is executing by my thread. Both threads are executing parallelly. If they are not executing parallelly, after completion of all the logic, at the end, main thread completed message should come. But that message coming at the end, or that message coming immediately? Message coming immediately. What is the meaning of that? Parallel execution. Main thread started. Main thread started. When the main thread started its execution, I am creating my thread. I'm starting my thread also. Main thread is executing. My thread is executing. Main thread is executing main method logic. My thread is executing run method. Inside the run method, I am calling M1 method. That's why the output is not coming in the order. The reason, two threads are doing two actions parallelly. So this is called multi-threading. Are you clear? Yes. Tell me, what is the default thread? What is the user defined thread here? What is the default thread? What is user defined thread here? Come on. Main thread is the default thread. Demo thread is a user defined thread. Now here I am writing run method, but I am calling start method. Why I am calling start method? Why not run method? Whenever you call the start method, it will start the thread. Then it will call the run method internally. Okay. Here thread T is equal to new thread. I'm creating a thread. I'm calling start method. When I call the start method, it will check for the run method. It is going to execute the run method. Inside the run method, what we are doing? Inside the run method, we are calling M1. So main method logic will execute by one thread and M1 method logic will execute by another thread. Two threads are executing parallelly. This is called as multi-threading. Good? Yeah. Huh? If you write M1 just like a normal method only, it will execute. Na? It is a sequential execution. Huh? Sequential output. Then no need to go for multi-threading. If you want to see here, they are saying that instead of calling the start method, can you call the M1 method? If I call the M1 method, who will execute M1 method? Who will execute M1 method now? Main thread. Yeah. So main method is executing by main method. M1 method is also main method is executing by main thread. M1 method also will be executed by main thread. Then it will become, after main method is completed, then only this statement will execute. I don't want to wait for the M1 method. If M1 is executing, let it execute. I want to complete this logic. I want to complete this logic. If you directly call the M1, that means your program is executing by only one thread. My intention is not with one thread. My intention is two threads. One thread is responsible to execute M1 method. My default thread should execute the main method. All right, run this program. See this, main thread started, main thread completed. That means this line is executing after this logic, or this line is executing parallelly? Parallelly. Why it is executing parallelly? Why it is executing parallelly? Main method is executing by one thread. This start method is used to start the another thread. Whenever you call the start method, what will happen? Internally, it will call the run method. What is that run method? Run method will contain the logic that you want to execute by the thread. Run method contain the logic which you want to execute by the thread. Is this clear? Yes. How we created a thread now? By extending thread class. That is a user defined thread. How many ways we can create the user defined threads? Two ways. One is by extending thread class. Second one is by implementing runnable interface. Currently we have seen how to create the thread by extending thread class. Java program to create user defined thread. using thread class. Using thread class. Yes. Main thread exception means this main thread will terminate na, that thread is going to continue. It will not. These threads are independent, right? Yeah. Yes, that synchronization concept. Next topic. Multiple threads also can call the M1 method at a time. Currently, only one thread I have created. That one thread is calling the M1 method. We can create multiple threads. Multiple threads can call the M1 method at a time. That is also possible. Okay. Perfect. Guys, please practice this. Just a basic program only we have discussed. What is the default thread? What is user defined thread? And practically we are able to see that those threads are executing parallelly. We created thread by using thread class. In the next session, we will discuss how to create the thread by implementing runnable interface. Guys, tomorrow I'm not taking the session. I'm not feeling well. We will take the session on Monday. So tomorrow you can practice your web development as well as your Oracle topics. We have our next class on Monday. Okay? Thank you.